Welcome back to another episode of the Galaxy Pod, hosted by yours truly, Slim. It's been a long week, but we're back at it again with another weekly episode. Just a few things to discuss about the Warriors, a signing they made, and a potential sign that they may make, and as well as checking in on the Bills and how they bounce back from week one. And yeah, so with that being said, let's jump right into it. Friday, the Golden State Warriors have signed Usman Garuba to a two-way contract, formerly drafted by the Houston Rockets with the 21st pick 3 years ago in the 2021 NBA draft. I'm not gonna lie, I love this addition. Like, even though I know he's not a big-time name, but I like what he could potentially bring to this team from a skill set standpoint, depth, however you want to look at it. I broke it down, so it's just going to talk it. He is 21 years of age, go about 6'8", roughly around 230. He has a 7'3" wingspan, and mind you, he's a center. So he's 6'8", small ball center in a sense of ways. And you look at the Warriors, that's our bread and butter. Like, you know, we like to run, we like to go small, opposed to big. In certain situations in the past, we have went big with, JaVale McGee, Andrew Bogut, the list goes on. Maybe it's also I consider him to be, in that conversation. But ultimately, it's us going small, with Draymond at the 5. And even like Looney, he's 6'9", but in the sense of ways, he's still kind of small. But, small ball always been our thing, so he can definitely fit in for sure. But in his past year's FIBA World Cup, he averaged 8 points and around 4 rebounds a game. So pretty solid. It's more so of like a low risk, high reward type of situation. I mean, you got him on a two-way deal, so that's like, it's not nothing, honestly, compared to an NBA standard contract. So, you really can't lose, in my opinion. So, but I like what he can bring to the team. He could be he is a versatile, high motor defender. Watching his highlights with the Rockets, he has held his own, switching on the guards and wings on the perimeter. We played them last year. He did a pretty solid job on Steph. Just standing his ground and not getting too into fouling him and things like that. He held his own, so yeah, the versatile stands out for sure. But yeah, also he has IQ. He's a pretty good passer. Watching the previous highlights, he can make the right reads, setting screens, roll to the rim, making the right reads, and especially the way we like to run things. I can envision him being in certain plays where he does this. So yeah. Also, he's a pretty good screen setter as well. I feel like he can fit in and understand the way Steve Kerr like to operate on that certain aspect. But also, he's an overall good rebounder, even better offensive rebounder. He can get you a lot of second chance opportunities for sure. And that's what the Warriors would like. And lastly, he shot 40% on threes and on 59 attempts a game. I mean, not attempts, but overall 59 attempts for the season. So it's pretty solid. It's not a lot of attempts, but if you look at the minutes he was given, he last season he coming off around 13 minutes, 14 minutes a game. That's not a lot of minutes, but that's not bad for a guy getting that many minutes a game. So yeah, overall, I like what he can bring to this team. He this is another front court option with defensive upside. He fills our second two-way. So yeah, I like what he can bring to this team, honestly, overall. So there's going to be a lot of games. It's just bound to happen. These guys are getting older up in age, and he could be the guy to call upon. So yeah, but he probably be going from the G League and in the NBA back and forth. So who knows? But he'll be getting reps for sure for us. It's only a matter of time. But I love this addition for sure. Just give us more depth and more flexibility in the front court. So yeah, shout out to Bob. I mean, not Bob. Shout out to Mike. Money Mike, he been cooking for sure. So yeah. Also Friday, another report came out. Dwight Howard will be meeting with the Dubs this week. I'm going to read the report. 8-time NBA All-Star Dwight Howard will meet with the Golden State Warriors next week. Sources tell the Athletic Stadium the Warriors have been exploring signing a reserve veteran big man, and now the 2020 Lakers Championship Center will visit with Warriors officials soon. Warriors have brought in a ton of veteran bigs from workouts the last several weeks. Dwight Howard is the highest upside candidate on the non-guaranteed flyer front. With the pin on his mindset and the meetings with team decision makers / veterans, he's a rare option. Dwight Howard will arrive in the Bay on Monday. He will work out on Tuesday and Wednesday. Also has meetings with Steve Kerr and Mike Donovan. Steve is most interested in Dwight's mindset, acceptance of role, and desire to be a good vet for the young guys. Meetings will be important. Man, if Dwight Howard can come into this meeting with the right mindset, he would definitely be a Warrior. If he could just come in, being a veteran to these young guys and understanding that, hey, it's a different day and time for him at this point in his career. Understand that it's not about him just playing, being a good vet to these guys, coming in, filling in minutes, when needed. We can use his size against guys like Jokic, AD, Steven Adams, Jaren Jackson, being able to battle for rebounds and things like that for short stints. Not a lot of minutes. Can he be the guy? Can he accept being a guy we can throw in 3 minutes here, 2 minutes there, to get rebounds, bring that physicality, or just use for fouls, being a loud threat here and there with CP. Can he accept that? Which is why, they said, when Sham said Steve Kerr, is interested to his mindset, what are you, can you accept this role at this point of your career? Which I feel like Dwight can for sure. I think Dwight is 37, he'll be 38. Going into next year, I think, maybe, or at the end of this year. At this point, he definitely should. You ain't getting no younger, bro, and you have opportunity to compete for a championship. And his jersey and his name and number will be called at some point during the season, whether it be 3 games at a time, 4 games, whatever, or it may be games where he don't play. But can he accept that? Only up for him to see. But I feel like even if, I know a lot of guys making jokes that he's 37, 38, but Dwight still can bring something to this team, and that's, size. Like, he's 6'10", 6'11". He's still strong, can bring that physicality. Like I mentioned earlier, he can steal a rebound, he can protect the rim. Just overall be a solid guy, solid vet for us. Still can set good screens, roll to the rim, catch lobs, so. Honestly, in my opinion, I feel like we couldn't go wrong with signing him to a non-guaranteed deal. Just seeing how everything works out, so we'll have to see. It's worth the shot in my opinion. You can't. It's really one of those situations where it don't hurt us to sign him. Because at the end of the day, this is like if we were to sign him, he'll be our 14 guy on the roster. Keyword 14. So whatever, he's not going to impact us or hurt us. So I just signed him just to see how it go. I love it from a depth standpoint. Like, yeah, but we'll see how this week go, and see if he impressed those guys, the vets on the team, Steve Kerr and Mike. The type of mindset he's willing to come into with. But yeah, I feel like he can. If he come in with that mindset, for sure he can help us win and compete for a championship and help himself. This could potentially be his last season in the league. He ain't played last season nobody picked him up. So if anything, he should go with a mindset like, okay, this could be my last year in the league, so let me go out on my own terms, opposed to, nobody wanting me. You got a team interested into you, so just take advantage of the opportunity and go make the best of it. So yeah, I would love to have him if we can, but if not, just keep on rolling. But yeah, moving on, the Bills versus the Raiders. Final score 10-38. We won. We handed them their first L of the season. Great bounce back game from the Bills, man. Our first game against the Jets, I was very disappointed. They're a good team, don't get me wrong, but Aaron Rodgers got injured, and they held up. They beat us, so shout out to them. But great bounce back game from the Bills overall, but terrific game from Josh Allen. He got it cooking. He started off hot. He led 3 touchdowns in the first half and throwing 2 himself. So yeah, just overall impressed and love what I see with his mindset. Like, a lot of guys talking about him, throwing a lot of pick sixes and things like that. Ever since he entered the league, that's sort of been a problem for sure, no doubt about it. But you just try to, outweigh the bad with the good, and you just got to look at the things he do well, opposed to the things he does terrible. But it's only a matter of time for it stops. I say, every great player has some that they're not good at. And he's still young, so he'll figure it out. I feel like the first game against the Jets, I mean, they just got an elite defense. Like, not good, not great, elite. Like, the Jets are one of the best defensive teams in the league, so he going to struggle against them. He always has since he's been in the league, but yeah, it's a great game by him today. He finished the day with a near perfect stat line, going 31 for 37 and 274 yards passing for 3 touchdowns, like I mentioned. So that's just the perfect way to bounce back from a horrible game he had. He knew he had to do this, so yeah, shout out to him. Gabe Davis, he was turned to. He was our top weapon, totaling for 92 yards and a touchdown on 7 targets. I like what I seen from Gabe overall, the team, but he helped us in a lot of ways. I'm gonna put in this clip. Josh Allen made an amazing pass. It was just so nice, for sure. But I'm gonna put it in this part of the video.
2nd down and 10. Allen up, caught, touchdown. Khalil Shakir.
So y'all can see what I'm talking about. It was fresh. It was tough, for sure. But with the Raiders, Jimmy G was unable to accomplish much through the air without Adams, throwing for just 185 yards and 2 interceptions on the day. It was tough, man. Like, our defense is elite. Like, even without Von Miller, we still have a darn good defense. And we showed them today. We showed the Raiders, but Matt Milano, he was responsible for one of them. He now has 2 interceptions thus far into the season. He was locked in. He was getting after it for sure on the defensive end. And shout out to them guys for holding down the fort. We wouldn't have, been able to, I wouldn't say we blew them out, but get out on them the way we did. Josh Allen clearly leading the way on the offensive end, but on the defensive end, they was getting after it, so shout out to them. But yeah, going back to the Raiders rushing attack wasn't much better. As Josh Jacobs specifically ran the ball 9 times for -2 rushing yards. Not good, but a lot of guys was trolling us on Twitter saying that it's the Raiders and things like that. But at the end of the day, a win is a win. The Raiders still a pretty good team. Gave them their first L of the season, and we're only going to get better. And I can't wait till next week for our next game. It's going to be a movie. Can't wait, but I'm proud of those guys for the way they responded, especially Josh Allen, the head of the table. Just a perfect stat line. Well, not perfect, near perfect stat line. He did his thing, and shout out to him. It was an amazing game, and everybody else followed his lead. So yeah, I can't wait till the next game. I don't know who we play. I have to check into that, but Yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. Just checking in with y'all weekly. Y'all been showing a lot of love in my last video. Like, man, like that's the most reads I had. So shout out to y'all. It's crazy because before that episode, I mentioned that episode. I said y'all was showing a lot of love on the episode before that. I was like, man, it's crazy. But shout out to y'all. I wouldn't be doing this without my fans and subscribers and things like that. I'm just speaking my knowledge for the game, for the sports that I love, and just trying to get better and better each and every week. So, yeah, I've been showing a lot of love. So shout out to y'all. But that's pretty much it. We'll see what the Warriors do. As far as Dwight Howard, I'll be talking about that next week, seeing how it pans out. But also, one last thing, I feel like they can't go wrong giving him a training camp invite. Bring this guy in, see what he about, see how he do against guys, and go from there. But yeah, we'll see how it all pans out. But that's pretty much it. Thank you for tuning in, and subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video, and as always, comment something positive, and I appreciate the love, and we're going to continue to grow. I'm excited for this season for the Warriors, man. I've been excited in a long time, but we less than a month away from the season, so yeah, it's gonna be a movie for sure. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all once again. We out. Peace.